you pick up anything from Pharrell before he played any songs, like production wise?
I asked him one question that I like always wanted to know, just being a fan that wasn't even nowhere close to the game. I always wanted to know, like, I asked him, I said, yo, how did you develop a sound as a producer? How did you develop a sound? And his answer was mad simple, and I never forgot it. He was like, yo, I just...
J. Cole reveals how he discovered his sound in the studio with Pharrell Williams. Now, for context, it's important to note that this conversation stimulates from Season 1, Episode 4 of J. Cole's audio series, Inevitable. And within this episode, J. Cole and Eve speak on a studio session with Pharrell that helped him uncover his sound.
A classic or something.
Did you pick up anything from Pharrell before he played any songs, like production wise?
I asked him one question that I like always wanted to know, just being a fan that wasn't even nowhere close to the game. I always wanted to know, like, I asked him, I said, yo, how did you develop a sound as a producer? How did you develop a sound? And his answer was mad simple, and I never forgot it. He was like, yo, I just pick what I like all the time.
That's such a good answer.
He was like, I pick what I like all the time, and in time, like, you'll notice that you gravitate to certain things. You know what I mean? And that develops a sound. And I remember too, like, there's been many conversations with producer friends where, like, some of them like kind of harp on, man, I need my own sound. I'm trying to figure out what's next on the sound. And it's like, I never forgot that Pharrell advice, which was just like, yo, you just, and it took a while for that to actually hit me. Like, I never forgot his response, but it maybe took years for that to, like, actually, for me to live by that, you know what I mean? But that was his answer. He was like, yo, I just pick what I like.
And there you have it. Now, you don't have to follow trends in order to be successful. You can choose to focus on what you naturally gravitate to and simply double down on that. Which leads me to an underrated aspect of J. Cole. While most rappers tend to glamorize the stereotypical aspects of culture, J. Cole gives you life bars that just happen to be conveyed in an incredibly high level within the music. I mean, just listen to another lesson Cole mentioned he learned from his studio session with Pharrell.
I remember Pharrell, one of the first times I had worked with him, he was like telling me how he had his life on a schedule. He came to the studio for certain hours. He was like, I only come to the studio from this time to this time, and I don't take shit home with me. I was probably 24, 25 when he said that, and I remember feeling like, damn, that's weird, because I be in the studio all fucking day. Like, if I stayed in the studio anything less than 12 hours before I had kids, it was a failure of a day. About 2 years into being a father, I remember like, oh, you need a schedule where your family knows that this is your time in the studio and this is the time when I'm at home on family mode. It's something that I needed to do because I'm not gonna shortcut on the family side. So I put the studio in the house for that reason. It's like, I love being able to work knowing my family is right upstairs.
And there you have it. Now, I, for one, was surprised to hear how influential those studio sessions with Pharrell were on J. Cole. But I'm curious to hear what some of you think. Were you also surprised to hear Cole still reference his studio sessions with Pharrell 10 to 15 years later? Or perhaps you have deeper thoughts on Cole sharing how he was able to identify his sound by simply picking the things that he naturally gravitates to. You all let me know what you think in the comments.
His production is crazy, man. I mean, the first time we locked in, he played about 10 beats, man. I wanted 11 though. The first track I did was High Power. Yep, off the batch that he gave me, High Power was it. That's how we started coming about grips of actually doing a full concept project together.
I feel like because he's such like a god tier MC, like because he's just so like elite at rapping, like one of the greatest ever, that his production gets overlooked. But he's a diamond record producer. Like he produces he sold so many records and he produces like 80% of his music. You know what I'm saying? So he's like almost as good as a producer as he is as a rapper, you could argue. Or even just as good as a producer as he is for a rapper. But I say that to say because again, he's just such a legend rapping that it could overshadow his production, which isn't a bad thing. But
yes, Corday, it's not a bad thing. And another thing that's not a bad thing is accountability. which is what I want to do on this channel right here. I want to revisit some comments that were made regarding Jeremy Heck from The Bigger Picture.
Said something on the left, and then it said Cypher on the right. And that's when you asked me, do you know what this is? So I said, I know what the thing on the right is. I do not know what the thing on the left is. Yeah. And that's when people were piecing it together. And that week I had said something about, why does my guy always get thrown into the mix when he just wants to sit and rap peacefully? So people were thinking it was Sean or J. Cole. Mm-hmm. And then Head said something about, there's things you can't control. And I said, interesting you use that word. And Joey, which I
knew what I was doing.
You knew what you were doing, and I hadn't known at the time that he referenced that, but I was basically just saying
cryptic
Sean.
and shit the whole time. Cryptic every single step of the way.
And then last week, you had said something about Ray Vaughn maybe being involved. So people were piecing this thing together, but eventually it happened. I'm so glad it was Monday night at 11:50, and I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm confident enough in the sourcing.
Oh yeah, you went in.
I think it's gonna happen. I tweeted, tomorrow's gonna be a fun day in hip hop for anyone who loves the sport of rap.
And a fun day it was. Now to Jeremy Heck, let me say, I was wrong for thinking that the delay was due to J. Cole. However, let's go back and dissect my reasoning why. I said, in reference to you, there's no way that Big Sean can release anything that will impact every hip hop fan. Now, yes, Big Sean did release. He was a part of that hip hop cypher. However, Big Sean, as clever, as witty, as amazing as his bars were, Big Sean was the tree that fell that no one was around to hear because no one's talking about it. So Jeremy Heck, yes, your favorite rapper, nobody cares about. That's why we all assumed that it was J. Cole when you were talking or referencing someone who only cares about his piece. But yes, I do stand corrected. But you all let me know what you think. Did you tune in to the Red Bull Cypher? And did you care to listen to what Big Sean had to say? Or were you just primarily focused on the major draw, which is Joey and Ab-Soul? You let me know what you think in the comments. But that's my video for today. Caleb from Twitter, signing out. Hey, before I get out of here, I just wanted to take the time to say thank you to each and every person that chooses to tap in and support the channel. Someone in particular, Underground Dream Kings. He says, yeah, we need Caleb to blow up. This needs to be seen. A lot of bigger platforms are pushing this narrative that rap beef determines who's the GOAT. And rap beef in hip hop is the same as URL rap beef. It's crazy out here. Underground Dream Kings, thank you for that comment. And I couldn't agree with you more. I don't know why we seem to do that. But I also saw that you had a channel as well, a large one. I'm sleep. It's definitely Underground Kings. And so I just subscribed to your channel. You have my support and I appreciate yours. Also, I want to shout out Impact 4182. He says, it's honestly sad your channel is so underrated. You see all of these media and hip hop blogs, Glaze, Kendrick, and I'm not going to continue reading that comment out loud, but I feel you, Impact, I feel you. And to be real with you, your comment is spot on as well, and I appreciate your encouragement. However, I don't take any view for granted. Just an update on the channel. Right now, we are at 894 subscribers. This past week, I received a notification that we are officially YouTube partners. And so I couldn't be more grateful for that. Thank you for continuing to like, comment, and subscribe. I promise to keep having a video coming for you guys every Monday. But that's my video for today. Hope y'all have a good one. Caleb, peace.